Welcome to Purposive Communication. This lesson is prepared and created by Ms. Riemann Zaira M. Fernandez, a faculty of the Department of Languages and Literature, College of Arts and Sciences, Central Mindanao University. Are you ready? We will start with Unit 1. In this unit, we will talk about communication processes, principles, models, and ethics. Specifically, we will learn about the following concepts: the meaning of language, meaning and nature of communication, and the differences of language in communication. At the end of the lesson, the learners must have performed the following with 85% accuracy. Discuss the meanings of language, discuss the meaning and nature of communication, and compared language in communication. Now, before we formally start with everything, I need you to answer the questions about language. What do you think is language? Why do we need to communicate? In what way communication affects our daily lives? Have you think about some answers to the questions? Well, I think you are now ready. Let us begin with discussing the meaning of language. There are several meanings of language found in books and even on the internet. Edward Sapir defines language as a humanistic and conscious expression of ideas, emotions, and desires through purposely produced symbols. It means that we use language to express our thoughts and ideas. As humans, it is normal for us to communicate and express our feelings. We show actions and emotions reflecting what we think and what we feel. Another one, Mikhail Bakhtin, defines language as a sealed-off and an impermeable monoglossia like a prison house. Millarm, on the other hand, says language communicates. Yes, it is definitely true. According to Benjamin Whorf, language is a determinant of life, thinking, and all other forms of mental ability. Do you agree? The systematic nature of language is complete if it is valid. It is, right? The famous Noam Chomsky said that language is an utterance with a limited length, but created with unlimited components. Now, how about communication? What do you think is communication? Are you using communication every day? Do you communicate with your loved ones or even your friends? With the pandemic, communication is very important to each and everyone around us. Let us now learn about it. Communication is defined as the exchange of thoughts, ideas, concepts, and views between or among two or more people. It also refers to the interchange of messages or information from one person to another, either verbally or non-verbally. Also, it is the simultaneous sharing and creating of meaning through human symbolic interaction. This exchange involves verbal messages using a language that involves codes, symbols, or sounds understandable by communicators. However, communication is also a transfer of information from one place or a thing to another, and may not utilize language to do so. This phenomenon can be attributed to nonverbal communication, by which meanings are understood through gestures, body language, and other manifestations of emotions like being sad or happy. Therefore, communication is the process of creating and sharing meaning by using verbal and nonverbal symbols in varied contexts, and effective communication results when both verbal and nonverbal symbols are understood in much the same way by both communicators. It is now time for your activity. We call this language or communication. You need to identify the following concepts, whether they are referring to language or communication. It refers to interchange of messages or information from one person to another, either verbally or non-verbally. The second concept is it is a human communication method or the system through which people interact. Let us check the answers. Communication refers to interchange of messages or information from one person to another, either verbally or non-verbally. While language is a human communication method or the system through which people interact. How about the next? It refers to a medium or a tool by which communication is being carried out. It emphasizes the message processed by the auditory sense. And the other one, it entails a process. It emphasizes the message brought by the signs and symbols processed by all senses. These are the answers. Have you got it correctly? Last one. It is static. It can be static in the sense that some noise, physical or psychological, may render the message unclear and vague. The other one is dynamic. Meanings of words, for an instance, change over time. Let's check your answers. This time, we will have a review. Based on the concepts discussed in this lesson, can you define now language and communication? What is the difference between language and communication? Today, we have discussed about the following concepts: meaning of language, meaning and nature of communication, Differences of language in communication. That is the end of our lesson 1. Thank you for watching the lesson. Pause. 2. Be prepared for our lesson 2.